it.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do the hello, dosto? Welcome to episode 6.
You're sick of your voice.
I am so sick of it.
Oh my God, Maya, do you wanna as the guest?
No, I feel like that's a lot of pressure on me.
Maybe we don't say it. Maybe this is how we start the episode.
Okay, yeah. This was our cold open. Lukewarm.
Okay.
SNL देखना बंद कर. Okay,
SNL is
so
so corny.
we have this
Sorry.
diva with us today, our very first guest.
Hello.
Oh my God, our very first guest. That's crazy.
I know. So, Maria, who are you and why do you know us?
That's such an existential question, guys. Wait, give me a second.
Who
Who
are
are you?
we? What are we? What are we?
What labels do you ascribe to currently?
Damn, that's
Define
crazy.
yourself.
I'm Maria. Shocker. Crazy, I know. Um, but I am a chef, a pastry chef, and I'm currently living in Paris, studying at Cordon Bleu, London. No, not London, Paris. Sorry, old news. And I'm studying like French cuisine here because I was like, pastry is fun and all, but I want to just broaden my horizons and have more work opportunities. So
She
yeah.
sounds so cool. The aura farming on Iza and my faces was like
I
we
don't
didn't even try to hide it.
think you
Aura
that
farming is crazy, guys. Come on.
out mogging us on our podcast. This is our first and last guest. We're not doing
Yeah.
this again.
We're not having anyone else on here after this, by the way. This is gonna be an
I'll
unreleased episode.
Oh, okay. I'll just leave then, I guess. Also cat mug. Just
That's so
appreciate.
cute. Okay, what's everybody drinking? I'm drinking Horlicks milk.
I'm drinking this like flavored black tea with honey. Fire.
Having black coffee.
Yum.
गाइस लाइट नहीं आ रही थी मुझे चूल्हे पे पानी गर्म करना पड़ा था केटल में चल रहा इट्स हार्ड आउट हियर इट्स नॉट लाइक आई एम कमिंग टू यू लाइव फ्रॉम माय फोन ऑन अ फोन स्टैंड
So, segment. Do we want to go through
what are you
our
eating? Sorry. Like, what was that? What are you eating?
I feel like this is a pattern that repeats with Iza and I whenever we're hanging out with a pretty woman, we start acting really stupid.
No,
You guys are the pretty women.
bro, we regress as hell. Like it's challengers every single time.
Every single time.
Wait, who am I then?
You're
Yes,
Zendaya.
Okay.
yes.
Do we go through our search history?
Yeah,
Okay,
but I will just like say this. It's very, very boring. There's nothing to offer for me, but please continue.
Maya, you wanna go first? It sucks to go after Sarah, so I was doing you a favor.
I'll just say most of it is French to English and English to French. Um, and then Paris to Brussels because I want to go to Brussels. I was looking up the lyrics of the song Pyramids from Frank Ocean because I saw a video of this guy breaking it down of how it's like in between like five perspectives, and I was like, wait, I forgot. I
that
have to
is
learn.
really interesting. I hope Frank Ocean's
Oh,
doing okay.
yeah. When's the new album coming out, King? And then I looked up my favorite Tibetan restaurant because I want to go. They have the most fire momos ever. Like it's like this 20 platter on this like really hot like cast iron like plate. And the bottom is like all like crispy. Oh my God.
What's this place called?
I'm gonna try pronouncing it right. It's called Le Quisito Tibetan. I don't know. I
Ooh.
butchered that, but this is
So,
this.
all our friends in Paris.
Our Paris following is gonna hate this.
Sorry, guys. I apologize. I am not French. So good. Even their like noodles that they do, the fried chicken, it's like it melt. It's so good. Oh my God, I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Talk
Yeah.
about it's like having Sarah talk about like, history or like the railway. It's the same. Like your eyes light up. You use your whole body to express yourself. Like it's crazy. Like it's so much fun though. Like I
I love food, clearly.
Even going to a restaurant with Maria is really fun. Like we went to Colette and I introduced the lemon curd crepe to her because that was my fixation dessert, and then she started critiquing it, and I was like, you know what, you're so right.
You just ruin everything. It's so fun taking you places.
It's amazing. No, she was so right, actually.
I'm sorry, guys.
No,
It'd be
I'm
like that.
serious. It was amazing.
I'm saying this as I go to restaurants, but my like meals at home are like cured meat on sandwich or on bread with hummus.
That sounds good.
Sounds
And like pickles, like cornichon, they're like the tiny little baby
That sounds really
cucumbers
nice.
there. And I looked up like my last little thing is tetrachromacy test.
what?
Why? Because apparently this is like like a genetic thing in women where you have like four color receptors instead of the regular three. And I always
Woo!
wondered because I was like, I personally think I like see a lot. And I was like, okay, let me see, let me see. Maybe I am like different. Maybe I am like not, I'm not like the other girls.
That's
So
so cool.
there's no like actual test online that's like very like actually reliable. So you have to like go to an actual doctor to get it done. But I don't know. We don't know.
I think you should do it.
But isn't it like the my red and your red is different and we'll never know?
Yeah, probably.
Or do they like look into your eye to see if you have the fourth receptor? How does
I think they have like certain tests for it. Like there's this like color like like sort of scale and it has like around 39 colors and if you some most people see like 20 to 30-ish and like the people who have this see like more than like 30 something.
Guys, I
oh
wish
so like,
Mantis Shrimp could talk.
एक सेकंड
Yeah.
उनके सामने आती है ना so like you can like close shades के बीच में you can
Yeah.
differentiate.
Yeah.
Oh, so like within the visible spectrum.
Yeah.
More
Oh,
shades.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm not like seeing new colors or anything. I think you can
I was
just like have like more variation to the colors that you see.
That's
That's it.
really cool. Okay, Iza, do you want to go next?
wrote down fun things from my search history on this notebook because I
Okay.
take my seriously. So chronologically, I graduated, so that's what happened. मेरी convocation हुई थी, right? So the thing
Congrats.
that I was Googling, like between the last podcast and this podcast, I have like a cap and gown that I have to return. So life update. Magar, I Googled tetanus injection, like day of convocation, because I was using a single blade razor to shave my face, one of those ones. I was trying to wipe it down like this, and then I cut myself
On your
like yeah,
hand?
on my wrist. And I have it
Ah.
covered, and we have to leave in an hour, and it's a very deep cut. Like I sliced it open, like I could see inside. I had to hold it like this, ताकि बंद हो. But like it made me realize how like skin, it's taut, it holds everything together. When it's open, there's no way to like close it. So I was like, okay, holding it like this, going to my mom, being like, hey, Mama, Baba ka hai? Because I didn't want her to freak because there was a lot of blood coming out, guys. I didn't hit like Owen, but there was a lot of blood. So I was like, Kai, and she's like, why, what happened? I was like, no reason. But he was in the bathroom, so she had to see it. And then she got me a band-aid, and I still had to shower. So I was like, okay, Mama, मैं नहाने जा रही हूँ, but I'm leaving the कमरे का दरवाजा and the bathroom दरवाजा unlocked in case I pass out. Someone needs to come in because it's still bleeding under the band-aid. So I shower, and like after that, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna require stitches because it's really deep. I don't have a lot of experience getting cuts often. So I'm still there doing a full beat, being like, yeah, I wonder if we're gonna make it. So I'm googling tetanus injection ko kitni der hai. And it's like 48 hours. So I'm like, Acha, Ma Baba, I know we said we'd go to Nanabu's beforehand, but would you be mad at me if I was like, okay, let's go get a tetanus injection instead? And my mom made a face. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's revisit that. So we did end up going to Nanabu's, but then when we got to my institute, they have like a medical center. So I went there and I got the tetanus injection.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes before I was supposed to be there. And I didn't know मुझे लग रहा था यहाँ पे लगेगा, यहाँ पे नहीं लगा. And I was like, मेरे कपड़ों की इस्त्री खराब हो रही है. But guys, stop laughing. And this isn't even all. Like I get it, ठीक है? And I'm wearing a blue fit और मैंने ताजर का blue liner लगाया हुआ है because I had this plan. And I
You looked
get that
so good, and you guys do not get to see it because it was just for me.
you suck
Damn,
so.
that's rough.
And
Here.
I'm trying to tell the doctor, I'm like, yeah, and she's like, आप बहुत अच्छी लग रही हैं. And I'm like, oh, she's like, आपकी, and I'm like, oh, but ये हुआ था, and I'm worried कि because it was in the bathroom, उसके ऊपर rust होगा, तो could we, so आपकी rings बहुत अच्छी लग रही है. I was like, oh, thank you. So like it made like an hour, या नहीं, hour after tetanus injection, I've googled Squidward meme because I was trying to explain it to my parents and they hadn't seen it.
Which one? The me and the Grok one?
No, it's the one where he's looking out of the window and they're like having fun.
Yeah.
Here, earthquakes in Islamabad because I didn't know if we were just doing that or if we were having an earthquake. And फिर soft boiled egg timer Islamabad because I just figured कि in Islamabad, hear me out, Maria. I know you're a chef, but hear me out. I was like, if we're at this altitude and if the water is boiling, so there has to be like a standard, like itne minutes for a right.
No.
If
Like,
I
for
were you, Iza, I wouldn't have said that out
I don't
loud.
think altitude has anything to do with how long you boil your egg. I think it's like there's a set standard.
atmospheric pressure pe. Because like it boils like it is an atmospheric pressure thing, guys. But with the anda, I was like, acha, but then it depends on the pani. And I was like, is it filtered water or not? Because salts are gonna affect the boiling point. But then no one's talking about this.
They should make an
Okay.
egg boiling simulator
I mean,
जिसमें आप
listen,
environmental conditions डाल सकें for an apocalyptic future.
can I just give you an easy way that has nothing to do with atmospheric pressure or whatever? Just please. You put your eggs in cold water. The minute it comes to a boil, you start counting down the minutes. For a soft boil, I think it's like 5 to 6 minutes. For
Because I've been putting them in boiling water. I thought that was the proper way
Me
to do it.
too.
the thing is with boiling water, it's not like bad to put them in boiling water. It's just because it's a temperature shock to the egg. When you put it in, they tend to explode sometimes.
Yes, that's what keeps happening.
So instead, when you put it in cold water and then you bring it up to a boil, it's not like it's not gonna explode on you.
Yeah.
And adding salt to the water makes it easier to peel.
Do you put the eggs in an ice bath after you're done taking
Yeah.
them out?
Yeah.
I'd be doing that. And the Akhri one, I swear it's the last one, guys. I'm gonna silence. It was drowning in hot blood memes because I had a specific dream. And that was such.
Interesting. My search history is pretty tame actually. I should have gone before Iza this time. This is the first time.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
Damn.
Okay, so I looked up Fahad Lazawal Ishq full name, and I will be opting out of explaining this one. Maria, is this the same hoodie you would wear over your Nixer uniform sometimes?
Yes, it is.
Meme
Yeah.
and good memory. Acha, next I looked up Sean Astin because I was hanging out with a coworker yesterday and she showed me her uncle and her uncle looked like Sean Astin. And then I was like, your uncle looks like Sean Astin. And I had to pull Sean Astin up. Then I looked up insane icebreaker questions because I was hanging out with my coworker and we were like, sorry?
Who's Aston?
He's in Lord of the Rings and Encino Man. Oh my God, what a film. Anyway, then I looked up Harlow et al. 1958 because I was reading about the psychological experiment on monkeys that studies development and touch and attachment. And I got really sad and I was watching videos about that this morning. Basically, yeah, I was looking up how tactile and touch plays such a role in attachment and development, and that like messed with my brain a little bit.
The monkey study that you're talking about, what year was that? What was it?
1958. He did a series of studies. I think he did his first one in 1958 and then he did the second study in 1965. But like the thing is, I also keep thinking about how like this monkey gets one life to live and the monkey can't go to therapy and you separate the little baby monkey from its mother to study development and attachment and then that's just like the state of mind the monkey has for the rest of its life, and like how do you strike a balance between that and like understanding development and attachment better? Like it's so hard to navigate. That's
Oh
all I
my God,
have.
A-level psych, little
Yeah,
Albert,
I
scared
was
baby.
just thinking of A-level psych right now.
That's crazy.
What's
And then
little
there's
Albert?
उसके बाद therapy देंगे उसे. They did that with a human baby. Not that exactly, because obviously, but the parents consented to it. And Maya, like, chip in where I'm wrong because I'm not fact checking myself right now.
I'm
But
also trying to remember, but yes, please continue.
but they were, I think, Pavlovian training scaring him of like beards, like white beards, like an object. And फिर like when he'd see it, तो फिर बहुत जोर की आवाज आती थी, and then he'd be scared. Or maybe it was like a rabbit, but like white and furry things, the association वो develop कर रहे थे इस तरह का. And then, right?
Maria, I have a question for you.
Yes, please shoot.
So you have been living in the UK and Europe since 2020, correct?
Yeah,
And before that, you were living in Karachi.
yep.
So how has mobility and movement in public transport been different for you in other countries as opposed to in Karachi? Did you ever take public transport in Karachi? And tell us more.
I mean, it was a massive, massive difference. Like, I think obviously, like, there's the conversation that like Pakistan in general, or especially Karachi more so, has very underdeveloped like public transport. And I think back home, it is viewed as like something that I don't know, generally more unsafe in comparison. But yeah, there's massive difference. And I think like for me, the mobility is like the biggest change in the terms of like independence for me. Like it genuinely felt like independence because there was like I can just leave my house whenever I'd like. I can go to places. I don't have to rely on other people for like driving me around, you know? Like it's a tap of a card. I get to go anywhere. Yeah. So didn't use any public transport in Karachi, but like I only exclusively use public transport in London and in Paris. And yeah, love it.
Is like when you're like to use public transport, if you're going to a stop, walking to
Mhm.
stop is a very different experience. In
Yeah.
Islamabad, where उन्होंने metro बनाने की कोशिश की है उस तरह की,
Mhm.
the journey to the stop, like you can't really walk there.
Yeah.
And like just men in public places, like it's very different.
Hmm. Yeah. Agreed. Like, I mean, if I were to walk downstairs, like, I don't think even to get to a metro stop, I would feel safe if Karachi did have that system. Like, yeah, that's just,
So there's a
like, I
reading
think,
called Why Loiter by Shilpa Patke and a couple of other co-authors. And there they explore how in South Asian cities, gender spaces are very gendered and public space is very masculinized. So if middle class or lower middle class or upper middle class woman tries to break through that boundary and crosses into a masculinized space, it is generally like general consensus ये होता है कि it's considered acceptable to like punish her for that space. So like getting stared at, getting harassed, that becomes like a natural sort of punishment because why did she cross into the space that was not for her? I think that's what they talk about, or maybe I'm mixing this up with another reading, but I feel like that in my experience in Karachi, I have experienced that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Like you remember girls at dhabas, right? Like the
yeah.
whole there was a movement for that is because like public spaces हमारे लिए नहीं थे. So even
Hmm.
middle and upper middle class people, like फिर the divide, like of course class का intersection, you can't discount that
Yeah, and
because
respectability politics, right? Because then the public
yeah,
space becomes a medium for अच्छे घर की खवातीन to hang out with, to interact with working class men, and then that's also a huge like classist thing against the men that exist in public spaces. Like हमारे घर की लड़कियां शॉपकीपर से बात नहीं करती या इन लोगों से बात नहीं करती. So it's not just like
No,
a gender thing either.
no, no. Saying I know this obviously, but it's still weird hearing it said out loud. Like
Yeah.
it's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable at all because like it's just the reality that we're born into, but like hearing someone like sort of, it's just something we already know. Like it's just, and hearing someone say it and
Yeah,
like
intellectualize it.
verbalize it is just like, oh, but yeah, it sucks, but I mean, yeah.
But honestly, like I feel like once I read about this and explored it academically, I it helped undo some of my discomfort towards
Mm.
being in public spaces, and I think I naturally became more comfortable being in public around South Asian men in Pakistan and also here because it helped answer a lot of the questions I had about why this is happening.
There was, I think, a Dawn article that I read like years ago, maybe like A levels or O levels, but like years ago, but it really stuck with me. And it was about family halls. You know how just ढाबे पे जाते हो तो एक भी, even if it's like a group of friends, but if there's women, तो they'll be like, हाँ नहीं, family hall इस तरफ है.
हाँ
So
हाँ.
you're going to sit किसी open expansive जगह में खुली हवा में, they'll be like no no no, and it's like a dimly lit zero ventilation, and they'll be like
एक
अब
पंखा
इधर
लगा है.
इस पर्दे के पीछे आप उधर,
Yep.
all the families are just like stuffed there, and if you say नहीं हमने उधर नहीं बैठना, like वो तो फिर like everyone notices if you're not sitting in the family hall, and you're not a family but you're just a woman who dares to be in a public space. तो वो
Yeah.
उसकी लेकिन उसका एक बहुत अच्छा, and I'm butchering the delivery and I would recommend reading the article, but she was talking about resisting that and being like कि नहीं मैं इधर बैठ रही हूँ, and then बीच में she was like there comes a time where you don't really want, when you don't really want your mutton karai to taste like rebellion because it's exhausting
Hmm.
this again and again, and yes magar it's like an uphill battle, like it's like the mental load of that, being aware of that in a public space. आप कर सकते हो मगर infinitely तो नहीं कर सकते और हमेशा नहीं कर सकते. So it just, I think of that every single time there's a family hall or something, how they want to poop you up because चार दीवारी आपके लिए बनी है. That's crazy.
और फिर वो पब्लिक में भी ये चार दीवारी वाला कॉन्सेप्ट रिक्रिएट करते रहते हैं, पर्दे के
Hmm.
पीछे वाला कॉन्सेप्ट रिक्रिएट करते रहते हैं कि औरतों को इसी में रखना है. But Maria, I was curious to know कि how is the Paris public transport different from the Chi you've been at?
They're very similar and they're very different. Like in terms of like the sort of structure of it where there's the trains, the buses, the trams, the like the other so the under the metro, then the trains that actually like go outside of the city itself. So like both of these, have that in common. I think the biggest like change that I noticed was the price, like in terms of how feasible it is. London is ridiculously expensive. I have a student pass for a year. It costed me around 400 euros. And I'm pretty sure I used up that like 400 within my first 2 months, like that, that price of it. So technically now I'm just traveling for free if you think about it. But in London, I paid that much for 3 months and only for two fare zones. For Paris, it includes the city itself and then the Ile-de-France region, which is like, the like little sort of these outside of Paris, but it like comes under one fare zone. So it's all one fare zone. I don't have to pay extra when I go outside of the city itself.
What's a fair zone? That's like intuitively I can tell, but that's crazy. Could you expand on that?
So fare zones are basically like the further you travel out, the more it sort of adds, the price adds to it. So London is like divided into six fare zones. Central London, then zone two, zone three, and so on. And I think they add like I don't know how much because the price has gone up a bit since I last lived there, but like it has like a couple of like pences extra, like 50 pence more added to your ticket. And the way it goes is you put in money into your Oyster card or your credit card, and when you tap in, it like records that, oh, this is your card. And when you tap out, they know like pick up on which station you're at, which fare zone you're in, and then they charge you accordingly.
Students like दोनों जगह में they were just widely using public transport feasibly, but the
Yeah.
London one's more expensive first, even with the discount.
Yeah.
तो like regularly फिर लोग वैसे भी करते हैं and that's just the price of transport.
Yeah. But also again, like the thing is the British pound is I think higher in value also at the moment, and the earning that people have in London, not like it's not like, like even the minimum wage is more than what it is in France. It's
Mhm.
not like to live comfortably or anything, but still like it makes it just a bit more feasible for people living in London to be able to. But still, again, it's not enough. It's never enough. Like over there, it's pretty rough. Um, but I think in Europe generally, like metro systems are very subsidized. Like I think outside, like in the EU, within the EU itself, like I noticed this because I think recently I went to Vienna and then Prague, and I noticed like I was like surprised. I was like, oh wow, surprisingly cheap. Like damn. And it felt super easy to access, even though I didn't speak the language. Like it just, yeah.
But also, like in London, isn't taking an Uber significantly more expensive than it is in a lot of other
100%.
cities? No?
Hun- I mean, I agree. Like London specifically, very expensive. Ever since I moved to Paris, I noticed that Ubers are still slightly cheaper, but it doesn't make it like any more feasible? Like it's just like, oh, I miss my bus and I really need to get to a place. Then it doesn't feel as bad paying for an Uber, but like in London, you just like you open the app, you see the person, like, oh my God, I'm better off walking. I'm better off taking the underground. Like if I'm a little late, like that's fine, but
The price difference, even though the London Tube is more expensive per ride, I believe the price difference is huge between taking the tube and taking an
yeah.
Uber.
Yeah.
What's that discrepancy like in Paris or other parts of Europe?
So I'm just gonna look up like the price of a metro ticket. One second.
While you do that, I wanted to know about the language thing that you said कि it's easier to use because of the language and like समझ आ जाता है. So like that's cool. Could you let me know more about that, possibly?
Okay. So it's 250, 2 euros 50 cents for the full fare of the metro. But this train ticket doesn't only include the metro, it also includes the RER, which is like kind of what I would say the national rail in the UK and London. It's kind of that. Yeah, but it's an
National
over.
Rail sounding so Five Nights at Freddy's. RER.
It's basically they're the overground trains, more or less overground. But yeah.
Over
Like they're like more spread out. The stops are more spread out in the
Mhm.
RER. You get to go further out into the like Île-de-France region. And with like the metro, it's like, every like couple like 500 meters or like 700 meters, there's the next stop. So that's I guess the difference. But the fare includes this price. And then they have trams. Trams and buses, I think, have the same price, which is around 2 euros. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So two
So
point
maybe
two
like,
point five euros is like 800 and something Pakistani rupees. 2 euros is is 653 Pakistani rupees, which is also like a huge difference from how much it costs to take the BRTs in Pakistan, which is like usually 30, 60, 100 rupees.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, like, I think I've just stopped converting now because it hurts the soul. Like, I don't want to know that I'm paying like 800 rupees. Like, that could be like the price of, those specialty coffees in like in Karachi, costing that's
There's a new one every week, man.
there is, yeah. It's like so this is included for like the entire Île-de-France region. This doesn't like change. when you leave the city of Paris. So the city of Paris is just this like small little circle, and the like the like areas are like sectioned off into like the first, second, third, like 20 arrondissements, so 20 like little areas, and they go in a spiral like a snail. So
What?
like you start.
Is
I
that what the map looks like?
Yeah, so when you see the first goes first, second, third, fourth, and then it just sort of goes around like that. So it's not like one, two, three, four. It's a bit, yeah. So like I live in the 16th, and on the other end of the city is where the 20th is. Yeah. Also, I think you were mentioning the language thing. For that, I think obviously Paris is a very like touristy city. I think most of the cities I visited were very touristy, but like again, I think it's more like, the symbols make it easier, or maybe I've adjusted to the language a bit more over here, so it is easy for me to just go and buy a ticket. But I think
English
the
like whatsoever?
hmm?
No
Sorry?
English at all. अगर
No, no, no. They have English for sure. Like you have the option to pick whether you want to like have, so you'll have a little like kiosk, and they'll like give you the option, do you want it in English and German, French and whatever.
Must be
So
Italian.
yeah, definitely Italians also there. You can kind of make it out like train and metro, same thing, English and French. Um, you'd be surprised how many words they share. Um, but yeah, I
Easy
don't
to
know. I
navigate from
personally found,
the sorry. Is it easy to navigate from the signage and from the maps and everything in a way that it doesn't really require you to interact with like a person at the station or on the train?
yeah, actually they have like everywhere you go, they'll have like the map showing the entire like Paris region, and then the different like metro lines and everything when you go into the metro. So yeah, I think it's easy to distinguish. When I first moved, I felt like figuring out the metro system was relatively easy. And also there are lots of apps for this that give you every single possible route and the time it's gonna take, and like what even what carriage you enter, so you have like the quickest like exit, and
that's
what like
so cool. What?
yeah, and also like which exit of the station you leave to get to the place you want to go to quicker.
And
That's
are
so cool.
all the buses and everything, do they reflect on Google Maps as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say though, London buses and Paris buses are very different. London buses always like the time that it shows on the app or on like the little like screen they have over there. When it says 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. With Paris, if it says 5 minutes on your like on the app, don't trust it. Don't trust it. Because
Mhm.
like it could actually be like more like 10, 20 minutes even, and you'll just be sitting there waiting like, oh, my bus is gonna be here. Maybe another 5 minutes, and then oh,
Is a
is that is that
is
is that come
a
back?
is there is there another reliable app?
There are loads. So there you have the app of the Paris Metro, like Wrapped, RAPT. That's like the
Okay.
official like company. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have Google Maps. There's one that have been using for like forever now. It's called City Mapper.
Right.
And it's honestly like I think it has most cities in Europe on there. Like most of the big like touristy cities on there, and it was super helpful in London. It's super helpful now. Like it'll I can like I'll like pull it up and I'll put in a random location, say maybe my school. Not
Mm-hmm.
that it's very far, but
I
where
think
is it?
Izza's phone died.
Ah, oopsie.
Sorry, phone died. It
Died it.
Izza's phone died. It
Yeah. Okay.
load shedding moment.
So I've
Okay,
been
she said
putting
you'll have to finish without me, I think. Okay, okay.
I see. So, I pulled up the my school has this like little a part in Hotel de la Marine, which is like one of the big palais, like the big like hotels in the
Mm-hmm.
city. And
Right.
I have to go there every week because they make me do free labor. So I've just pulled it up. It has all, I don't know if you can tell, but it has all the options and all the times
Oh,
listed. And then when it was really hot, they also had a section with air conditioning. So you could see that.
oh, that's really nice that that reflects. So is this the one with even this, the timings are not reliable?
No, no, they are. They are. The timings for like metros most of the time is quite reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never like felt like maybe it would be off by a couple of minutes, like maybe 2, 3 minutes, but I wouldn't say more than that. Like it's pretty negligible. Honestly, I really wanted to spill like little tidbits, history and lore on both the Paris and London like metro systems because I am obsessed with them. Um,
Me.
there's so much. I feel like I have to look it up. If maybe that means
Maybe next time.
maybe I'm coming back on here.
Yeah,
Am
maybe
I gonna
next
be
time.
invited?
Next episode.
This was
Bye.
great.
Allah
Thank you so
Hafiz.
much. Bye bye.